Case Sports Pregame Show, presented by Kia.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Phoenix Suns here at their home. Well, for the Suns, playing above 500 in the last few weeks, not bad. They'd like to do better. We'll see if they can add a win tonight. And Carmelo, now a veteran in the NBA, always a great scorer, and could be a factor for a long time to come.
Yeah, Melo relies more on skill than athleticism, which bodes well for his future. He's a very smart player, knows exactly what he can get away with on the offense, but as a triangle expert, stay with the triangle, baby. It'll get you somewhere.
How many sides there in a triangle then, big fella?
I would have to say as many as my championships, -1, 3.
Huh?
Ooh. 3.
Huh?
At 3.
Yeah. You had...
Yeah, I said it, -1. I know I got 4 championships.
I
got you, Ernie.
Dr. O'Neal.
Yeah, I got you, Ernie.
He gave you a little basketball, gave you a little addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you,
give me a little Pythagorean theorem.
I'll tell you this. The most underrated thing, from what I hear, I have sources that have told me this, that he's a great leader in the locker room. Very underrated. Very underrated, everyone tells me.
Yeah.
I got a math equation for you, Ernest.
Mm-hmm.
E equals MC squared.
Yes, it does. Isn't that right, Kevin Harlan?
I had to do it.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you all the action. With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sideline. The Suns, they continue their stretch of home games. This, their first look at this year's New York squad. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty.
Here at the midway point of the season, the league pecking order now coming more into focus.
You know, I think generally you can see who's going to be in the playoffs by this point. You understand what a playoff team looks like and what a non-playoff team doesn't. Certainly by this point, some teams are saying, you know what, I think we might be heading to the lottery. Let's help that cause along.
But I never feel, even though people will speculate and talk about this, that the teams try to lose to better their position. I've always felt these are pros. It's on tape, and their individual careers as much as the team is at stake here.
I think you make a great point because these guys are about pride. No one likes losing. In fact, you can see rookies who come in and have had success at a high level on the college game, how much of a toll it takes on them mentally. And I'm a big believer, Kevin, is you can't try to lose because if you do, it sets a very poor standard moving forward for those players.
That's a great perspective. So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Melo and Porzingis, the 2 stars at the forward spots. Derrick Rose is out there with Lee, and it's Noah in at the 5 down low. Booker against Lee. Booker the pass to Prez, and the foul called on Porzingis. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Prez kicks it to Tucker. Young from outside. It's not going to go for him. And New York will come the other way. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, you know, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
You know, the mind was willing, the body was not. This is why conditioning is such a big part of the game.
Tucker dishes to Booker. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Here's Prez. Nice D from Porzingis. The Knicks have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Rose kicks to Lee. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Off target from outside. Suns have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Down low, tries it from 9. The kick out to Young. Again, Young missing.
1 for 4 right now. A little sluggish coming out of the gate.
To the inside. Here's Noah. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 3 assists now in this one.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Tucker, the pass to Prez. He tries for 3. Hits it from 3-point range. Prez has got 5 points so far. Now, with all the obligations and travel you have as an NBA player, it's not uncommon to see someone wear down over the course of a season.
And I hate to say it, but you can notice it a bit with Prez. All these things add up at this level, and you have to do everything you can to make sure you're at your best when on the court.
You know, Jeff Hornacek was the man chosen to lead this Knicks team during their coaching surge. You know, you think about it, they took a look at several names in and out of the organization, but Hornacek ended up being their guy. It seemed like they felt Hornacek didn't get a fair shake and is underrated as a coach.
Lee kicks to Anthony. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. 5 points in the game.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And Young kicks it to Tucker. Now here's Prez. Headed by Porzingis. Another miss by Young.
It's almost as if there's a lid on the hoop for him right now. He still hasn't gotten one to fall in the quarter.
That one goes. Count it.
Every time they get scored on during this.
Wake up out there. Come on. Hey, we have got to contain Rose starting right now. I don't care where he is on the court. We've got to lock him down. I want us to.
Challenge is to find a way to close off that lane without completely ignoring the perimeter.
And our Hall of Famer David Aldridge spoke with Jeff Hornacek. David?
Well, Kevin, he expects their interior defense to be airtight. He said rim protection is something we really do well. Our ability to contest shots allows us to become more aggressive on the perimeter. Makes it a win-win. We'll see if all of that holds up for them tonight. Back to you.
Okay, Dave, thanks. So it's mainly about defense for them early on.
And it won't just be early. I mean, it'll be about D all game long.
You know, I expect them to come out aggressive, and they'll be willing to take chances, try to create turnovers, and be disruptive as they possibly can.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Doris, you've worked with so many coaches in so many different ways throughout your career. You were a player and you were an assistant coach yourself, and as a broadcaster now. New York leading by 6. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Melo and Porzingis, the 2 stars at the forward spots. Lee out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Noah in at the 5, roaming the paint. There's Lee with the 3. Connects from 3-point range. Lee's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Knicks. Prez dishes to Bender. To end the drought, Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
They get the rebound.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
No question. If you don't take it, you actually go away from what the scheme is trying to create.
So for Phoenix, their last game a loss to the Pelicans.
The inability to make threes in that game, because they took a lot of them, I think, is why they ended up on the short end of the stick.
Their percentage from downtown was abysmal. I think that they felt the shots would eventually start dropping, and that's a dangerous gamble, as they found out.
Here's Prez, and it's wide right. It's off the rim.
A fadeaway, not a terrible idea, but he needs to make the game easier on himself. He's overcomplicating things.
Rose passes to Carmelo. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. And it's 9 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
and they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
From downtown, the Knicks pull it in. Noah's got his 4th rebound in this one. Anthony left side. And the Knicks getting another bucket right there.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Prez with the ball. He's got 5. And Booker kicks to Prez. Bender dishes to Booker. Pulls up on the wing. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Yeah, releasing the ball at its highest point, that allows Booker to drain jumpers over people.
Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
Rose, good.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Suns trail by 13. Booker outside. Here's Prez. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Young for 3. That was enough space for Young to convert the deep ball.
And Young can knock those down if you give him the chance. And Dragan Bender, playing professionally in Europe from his mid-teens, never intimidated. He plays with a motor and an aggression that you love to see.
Suns have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And Tucker kicks to Bender. And the layup's good off the glass. Bender's got it back down to within single digits for Pheonix.
And Bender is certainly a work in progress down there, but when he gets good position, he uses his body well to get the shot he wants.
Porzingis with a screen on Young. Rose passes to Porzingis. Lee dishes to Noah. Porzingis kicks to Lee. 4 on the shot clock. New York needs to get off a shot. Porzingis can't hit. And Bender standing 7'1" with a 9'3" standing reach. He has the length to play center, but he still has to get stronger.
Well, you have to remember, he didn't turn 19 until just before the start of the season. He'll add muscle over time, but for right now, he has the mobility and skill to play forward.
Boy, clear breakdown on defense. They're fortunate that he didn't make them pay.
Booker with it. He's picked up by Lee. No one covering. Now just a 2-point Knicks lead.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Here's Noah, and finished off by Noah.
You know, you love your...
Get over here, guys. Hustle up. Let's talk. Hey, we have got to contain Rose starting right now. Am I starting to sound like a broken record? It is imperative that we take him out of his comfort zone.
One of the most iconic...
It's all tied in Phoenix. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Carmelo, you got some real numbers off the bench in the first half. How important is that contribution to the team?
Well, I mean, we always believe that we have one of the better benches in the NBA, and when they come to play like we're playing so far, you know, it makes it a tough game, makes it a tough team to beat, and you know, just hoping we can keep that up.
I'm sure it puts confidence in you and in the coach going into the second half. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
All right, come on, guys. Shake it off. Hey, we have got to contain Rose starting right now. He cannot touch the ball. You hear me? Deny him the rock and take him out of this game. We can still win this game. Defense, fellas. Let's go.
The streets around this beautiful arena in downtown Phoenix, the home of the Suns. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. One of the stories here, Leandro Barbosa getting it done today.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
You know, he's getting the ball in a place where he can do something with it, and he hasn't had to force one thing. The game seems like it's coming to him naturally.
A chance here to get a quick injury report.
After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad. We're well into this season, and that is the last thing this team needed. And that's going to make things much harder for them down the road. Kevin?
All right, David, and folks, we will, of course, keep everyone updated as we find out more.
And you know what? He could have a long road ahead in terms of getting back on the court. But one thing we all know, he's never been shy of hard work.
Yeah, his fortitude is tremendous. He's going to keep rehabilitating at the highest level until he's back out there with his teammates.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. Setting the floor for the Suns. Booker is the 2 with Tucker at the 3. Bender out there with Prez. And it's Young in at the point. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Pelicans gave them a big boost. He finished with 8 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also finished with a season high in rebounds. It was a great combination for a guy who's considered to be more of a role player for this team. Let's see what he can bring to the table tonight, Kevin.
All right, thanks, David. He's got a lot of positives to take away from that game.
He really does. It was one of his better performances, and that's saying something because we've seen this guy have a lot of good ones.
He was maybe the most competitive guy on the court, and I hope he brings that same attitude, that same swagger tonight.
Rose kicks to Anthony. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Anthony. Anthony's got 3 assists now in this one. To the left wing. Prez dishes to Tucker. And Young kicks it to Tucker. Pass to Prez. Offensive rebound. Booker. He with the block.
Sluggish 1-for-4 start in the third period.
Rose against Young. Rose passes to Noah. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Anthony. Again, the miss by Anthony. Phoenix has gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all.
You know, coming out of the break, you want a fast start. They go 1 for 5.
Rose kicks to Porzingis. Back to Rose. Tipped away. Now here's Prez. 6 points for him. Out to the right wing. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And Young kicks to Booker. 5 to shoot. Here's Bender. Cans the shot from the wing. Bender's got the lead up to 1 now for the Suns.
That's the kind of confidence Bender has in himself. Ready to fire as soon as he gets the ball in his hand.
Here's Anthony. There's the dish to Lee. Porzingis kicks to Anthony. Over in the corner, Lee pass to Carmelo. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Anthony's got 13 points.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
You know, Carmelo has had success playing at that power forward or the, quote, skill 4 role. It certainly fits the direction this league is trending.
Young in the corner. It's stolen by Rose. Releases. That one wide left.
It's ironic. As he continues to search for his rhythm, they continue to stay in the lead.
Here's Prez. Knicks with the rebound. And Doris Carmelo playing the 4. He can really pick apart those bigger, slower defenders on the perimeter.
Yeah, you know, I think he's been a little bit, Kevin, hesitant to absorb that wear and tear inside. With some of the knee and the back issues he's dealt with, you can absolutely understand why.
Lee passes to Porzingis. That one goes in. 8 points for him.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
11 feet away. Second shot opportunity. The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
And there's no way you're going to get that board over Bender. He plays with a real ferocity underneath the rim.
T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Pheonix. Barbosa comes in for Booker. And New York with a change here, too. Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Rose. And here's Jennings. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now, he averages about 9 points a game. Anthony can't hit.
He hasn't been able to shoot for a high percentage this quarter, but he's still pushing the action.
Here's Prez. Pheonix, no good that time either.
Just a case of doing too much. He has to look to get his teammates involved, and his shot's just not there right now.
Suns trailing. Now Warren. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Pass to Prez. Bender dishes to Young. Sinks the three-pointer. Young's got 11 points.
And you got to love the unselfish play of Bender. When he sees a teammate wide open, he does not hesitate at all to whip the ball over to him.
Porzingis with a screen on Young. And the pass to Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
Boy, very surprising he clanked that one. Everybody in the building thought that was down.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
I approve that
feels like he's forcing things, getting a little frustrated by not letting the game come to him.
New York shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth. Melo and Porzingis, the two stars at the forward spots. Rose is out there with Jennings. And it's Noah in at the 5.
You know, this hasn't been his best game, but he's been aggressive, and they're winning.
And Booker kicks to Prez. Right wing. Dishes at the land. Back to Tucker. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Kicks it to Noah. And Noah with the slam.
The vision there as Carmelo makes his teammates better.
Suns trail by 3. It's stolen by Anthony. And it's Anthony with the jam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
Inside. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Boy, the aggressiveness in the paint from Porzingis, you know, putting the onus on the officials to make a call. You've got to make them decision makers.
Bender, he's checked in for the Suns. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Lee's checked in, and he makes both free throws.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
And Courtney Lee gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. And Young, here we go. Bender, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Joakim Noah. And for the Suns, a lot was made of players wanting out and demanding trades. Doris, maybe their biggest obstacle has been the health of Eric Bledsoe.
Right, it's debatable, Kevin. Top 20, top 30 when he's healthy, but he's now torn his meniscus in both knees. This is a player with elite athleticism, and that's part of what makes him special. Injuries tough to predict and can force a franchise to revise their timelines.
But on that shot, with that, the Knick lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Young. Anthony, the pass to Rose. Screen by Porzingis. Anthony on the wing. A baseline J. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. The Suns have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Young dishes to Tucker. And Young kicks to Prez. Good ball movement here by the Suns. No good. That would have tied it.
I'll tell you, they're fighting the good fight, but he's not helping a difficult situation by missing this way.
Rose passes to Lee. Anthony right side. Just 5 on the clock. Rose with the ball. And Young picks him up defensively. Here's Porzingis.
That's an example of the release point being so high, the defender has no options. You just don't see that many players, Porzingis' size, 7'2", 7'3", who can stroke the jumper the way he can. You know, what's interesting about Porzingis is, yes, was there an adjustment period in terms of his NBA career? No question. But he had a very good grasp of the culture when he came over, and he loves the American lifestyle. He's got the slang down. He's a very outgoing guy.
Tucker can't get it to go.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
But Trey, and it's Porzingis that time on the assist by Lee. 16 points for Porzingis.
Ooh, finally hitting 1 from range. That's his first 3 of the night.
And the culture shift for a lot of players coming from overseas, Doris, can just be an added task. But for Porzingis, might have made things easier.
I just love how Porzingis approaches everything, and it fits right in with what the fans want to hear. There's a confidence and a brashness that he plays with that quickly had fans flocking to him. You know, he's got the perfect personality and embraces the culture of sport. So it's hard to think that he won't be a beloved player for all of his playing days.
At the line for 2.
That free throw, no good.
And what makes Prez special is his passion for the game. Any weakness he has, he works tirelessly to make it a strength. And the Knicks overhauling their roster with some big names. Of course, the former Bulls, Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, but also shooting guard Courtney Lee, who I think can definitely help them with his defense and shooting.
It's rebounded by Noah.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
Young with the steal. Noah with the block. And oh, here we go. Rose, nobody back. Good. And now an 11-point Knicks lead.
That's just all energy. Young really a pest on defense with his quick instincts.
And we heard some speculation that the Knicks might look to trade away their veterans and look to rebuild around Porzingis. This summer, that was not the case, though.
Well, it seems like rebuild is a dirty word in New York City. There's not a lot of patience for losing. We'll just see how far they can go with this new roster.
Here's Rose. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 08, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
And Pheonix making a change here. Warren's checked in, and Rose drops them both. And how teams are able to work together is the greatest key to success. Doris, you appreciate that. In your eyes, as a player, as a former coach, what makes a good teammate?
I think probably the most important thing is you see a guy who is as excited for their teammates' success as they are for their own, right? It's not just a fist pump or a dap up when they score. It's when the guy next to him scores.
And that's what you enjoyed playing point guard.
Oh, I love that. Listen, for a point guard, it's as good to get an assist as it is to get a bucket.
Interesting.
Clearly a foul.
We throw good. Bender.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
Rose with the ball. Inside, stolen by Bender. Here's Warren, buried from 15 feet out. New York leading by 13. Here's Rose. Lee outside. The wide open look here for Anthony, and it's off from three-point range. Pheonix has gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Young's shot is off. New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Rose kicks it to Noah. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 8 now. On the
hustle up. Let's figure this out now. Let's go. We've had our chances on offense, but we need to start capitalizing on it. We cannot settle.
Whenever he faces another great point guard, he seems to play at his best level and loves to push himself and is willing to step up to the challenge. Let's just hope that he can eventually get back to that all-star caliber presence he had just a few years ago.
There's the feed to Carmelo. 1:43 left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Lee, and that one hits back iron.
That kind of miss rarely happens, but when they occur, they're pretty shocking.
Booker left side. Baseline try. Yep, that one goes.
Well, you're talking about a guy like Booker, perfectly suited for the catch-and-shoot game.
Outside Rose. Lets it fly from 18. Pheonix grabs the miss. Prez has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Bender dishes to Warren. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Prez, no good.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way. And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Knicks.
Their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Yeah, excellent defense around the rim there, Kevin. They were disciplined and focused.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. See you later.
I mean, to be honest, this one's on us, Press.
Man, I mean, we did not bring it like we usually do tonight.
Don't know what it was, but it sure wasn't orange juice.
Sure it wasn't.
Like, shake it off, you know?
Shake it off.